in the context of a B2B sales pitch, let's think about where our customers are at. So I'm a customer. Let's say I'm a senior executive at a company and I wake up one morning and I'm like, you know what stinks? Our CRM stinks. And they look down at the sales team and they say, you, head of sales ops, please buy us a new CRM. And that head of sales ops has now got the job of trying to figure out what the new CRM should be. So the first thing to realize here is, in general, we're selling things to businesses. The champion in our account, the person who is trying to orchestrate the sales process, has never actually purchased a solution like yours ever before. So the first step in their sales journey is to try to figure out, like, who should be on my short list? What is my purchase criteria? I have no idea. I don't know what kind of CRMs are out there. I'm going to start Googling it. I end up on places like G2 Crowd and Software Advice. And maybe I pull a bunch of Gartner reports and I get these landscape things. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of companies on there, and they all look the same. And so now I'm trying to figure out, how do I make a short list? How do I pick between these before I can even care about your features or anything? Who should be my top 3 that are good fit for a company like mine? Now, what's interesting, if you look at the data around this, what do customers actually want? B2B software customers, what do they want in a sales experience? You know what the number one thing they want? They want a salesperson that can help them navigate alternatives. Meaning, I'm trying to make sense of this mess in G2 Crowd, and I don't even know if you folks should be on my short list. So I don't want to hear about your features. I don't actually want to hear about you. I want to hear about you in the context of everyone else. So I want you to give me your unique perspective on the market, not your product, the market. I want you to help me avoid landmines. I want you to educate me on issues and outcomes. What I'm looking for is help in figuring out how to actually approach solving this problem of, how do I buy something here? Now, when we go back to our storytelling framework, it doesn't take into account the situation we have in B2B. Our sales situations are competitive. They're not looking at me in isolation, my product in isolation. Customers are like, how is your product different from the 9,000 other products on my list or should be on my list? What value can your product provide that the others can't? What customers is your product the best fit for, so I can figure out if it needs to be on my short list? Now, look at our storytelling framework. There's nothing in there that accounts for that. Like there's nothing in there that helps me as a salesperson outline to the customer who should choose you and why in a field of competitors. It's no wonder that 4 out of 10 purchase processes end with no decision. So the data on this is heartbreaking, actually. So 4 out of 10 ends with no decision. That means I started the process. I did the research. I went out. I had some sales calls. I got the gang together. And in the end, we said, forget it. I can't make a choice. I can't figure it out. We're just going to stick with what we've got. If you dig into the data further on that, if you ask the customers, why did it end in no decision? It's not because they couldn't figure out who the best vendor was. And it certainly isn't because they thought what they're doing today is good. If they thought it was really good, then they wouldn't have embarked on a purchase process in the first place. The reason it ends in no decision is because the buying team cannot agree on an approach. Meaning, out of all the solutions they had, they recognized that there are different ways of solving the problem, and they couldn't agree on which was even the right approach to take. Forget about vendors, was the right approach to solving this problem. So this is what we're up against on the sales side. The customers don't want a product feature demo. What they want is insight in the market. Now,